I'm back with another walkthrough guide, and this time doing a full achievement walkthrough for the one-eyed Kutkh. Seriously, I have no idea how to say the name of this game correctly, but it is some really easy Gamerscore. It only takes around 30 minutes to complete the whole thing. Now this guide will cover all 10 achievements. Some of these are story related, while others are missable, so if you're just looking for some that you missed, I'll leave timestamps in the description down below for all the missable achievements. When you start out, our one-eyed monster thing is having trouble with his ship. This is where you can get your first missable achievement. In order to get the persistent achievement, you need to pick a button and then push it 4 times in a row. As you can see, each time you press it, the ship will malfunction. Remember, you need to click the same button 4 times. You don't even have to move your little hand thing, just keep it in place and keep on clicking. Now once you've pushed it for the 4th time, the achievement will unlock. After crash landing, you'll need to go about repairing your ship. The first thing you'll need to do is go around collecting all the gears. You'll need to pick up each gear and then place it back in the ship in the correct position. After installing the first 2 gears, you'll need to get another piece. This is hidden under a piece of the broken ship. After placing this back in the ship, you'll notice that we're still missing a final gear. This is what drives the rest of the game, the search for that last gear. So our one-eyed monster thing can leave this planet and fly home. Once he moves the ship out of the way, we gain the ability to inspect things by looking around with this eyeball. Now we need to inspect this hole and jump in. Once inside, we can pick up 2 missable achievements. You can see there are a number of exits, and we want to visit them in a specific order. First we go to the left. Here, we'll get scared away by some birds. Now we go back to the middle. Here, you'll pop up in the middle of a lake. Lastly, you want to go to the exit on the right hand side. Here the little alien will pop up, and then he'll fall asleep. When sleeping, he'll dream about everything he saw, and at the end of this sequence, you'll unlock the sleeper achievement for seeing all dreams. With that unlocked, we can now use the final exit. This is at the top. After exiting, you'll get the Explorer achievement for finding all exits in the labyrinth. When you get to this part, all you really need to do is keep climbing until you reach the top of the tunnel. When you get to the top, you'll notice a ship. Before entering the ship, keep going to the right until you see the moon. Now inspect the moon, and you'll notice his ship. Now, go all the way back to the ship, and instead of entering, now you go all the way to the left. Here, you'll notice the sun. When you inspect the sun, you'll also notice his ship. Now head back to the ship in the middle and climb inside. Once inside, use the inspect icon. After that, you can now sort through and start pulling this place apart, looking for useful pieces for your ship. Now you'll need to try and pull everything off. After pulling everything off on the left hand side, head over to the right hand side and try to pull everything off that side too.
Hori.
Now our little monster thing wants to do some arts and crafts, so you'll need to put all the pieces together to make a sculpture of a person or something.
Oh. Jinda. Tinkerero tarde.
After that, we need to work out how we can use this
Oh.
to get our hands on the sun and moon's ships. Here, what you want to do is drag the sculpture to the moon and the sun. After doing that, you'll get the option of leaving it in the ship.
Hori. Hori. Tinkerero tarde. Jinda, jinda.
Now what we need to do is go down and tell the sun and moon about our art project. Firstly, walk over to the sun and tell him. He'll fly over and hop out of his little ship and get into the larger ship in the middle.
Jinda, jinda.
Now walk over and tell the moon, and he'll do the same. After they've both entered, you'll unlock a cunning plan for causing the sun and moon to quarrel.
Jinda, jinda.
Now our little monster thing will assemble the sun and moon ships and fly back to his crashed ship. Now you need to pick a person for the second half of the game. It doesn't really matter who you pick, as the one on the right will always give them the gear. But I went with him anyway. There are 4 missable achievements in this section. When you land, you can get the first one for touching a fish. Most of the branches will have these little dandelion people who help you with ladders or other means of getting to the next branch.
Taken.
The Curious achievement requires you to explore as far left and as far right as possible on every branch while you're climbing the tree. So make sure you do this before interacting with people, as once you go up to the next branch, you can't go back down again.
Daime. Ziva. Duru. Zinzaba. Taken. Ziva. Duru. Ziva. Derbe. Taken.
The dandelion person cannot help us, so what we'll need to do is go all the way to the left. Here we can inspect this deer and see that its antlers could be used as a ladder. So go back to the bush here and pull it out. Now we can feed the deer and climb up. Here you can get the next missable achievement. Just make sure you've gone to the right first, and then head back towards the bears. Once you get the option to inspect the bears, stop. What you want to do is inspect the bears 3 times in a row. This will cause your character to keep climbing up and get yelled at. On your 3rd attempt, you'll unlock the Survivor achievement. Now keep heading to the left and hop on the boat to get to the next branch.
Ziba. Doodoo. Zinzaba. Tintin. Ziba.
Now you'll need to hop onto the sled and head to the right side of the branch.
Zinzaba. Tintin.
Once here, you need to hop on the fishing line to get pulled to the next branch. Provided you've been following along, when you walk to the end of this branch, you'll unlock the Curious achievement. Now before interacting with the people on the seesaw, walk towards the left and then touch this Weasel. This will unlock the last missable achievement in this area.
Ziba. Doodoo. Doodoo. Zinzaba. Tintin. Doodoo. Nina. Nina. Daime. Daime.
When you get up here, you'll get pulled inside the ship by the sun.
Arabe tanta deyo. Nanzabe. Jikare. Fanta. Antara. Foro. Intore. Achte. Tanta deyo.
Now the sun and moon will tell you about the one-eyed monster thing, who stole their ships, and they'll send you down to talk to him.
Jiva. Terabe.
Now this part is easy, you just need to retrace your steps all the way back down through the labyrinth.
Iza. Zazami.
Here you can pick up the last missable achievement in the game. At this point, you as the alien are supposed to give the ship back to the human, but instead, you need to keep pulling it back to yourself.
Hore. Arabe tanta deyo. Nanzabe. Jikare.
Each time the human will beg you, and you need to keep sliding the ship back to yourself.
Hore. Arabe tanta deyo.
Again, you need to be selfish. You need to keep pulling the ship back to yourself.
Achte. Tanta deyo.
Once you've done this 3 times in a row, you'll unlock the stubborn achievement for refusing to give a man a boat.
Hore. Arabe tanta deyo. Nanzabe. Jikare. Fanta. Antara. Foro. Intore. Achte. Tanta deyo.
Now you can continue the story and give the ship back. And in exchange, the human will give you the final gear.
Zinzaba.
With the gear, the ship can finally be fixed. With that fixed, the monster can now fly up and return the ships to the sun and moon. After returning the ships, we need to teach the sun and moon how to take turns and share. So what you need to do is pick one of them to stay in the ship with the sculpture and the other to go back outside. After doing this will unlock the final achievement in the game, the Peacemaker.
Jinga.
Now our one-eyed monster can blast off back to where he was headed. I hope this guide helps you guys out. Please remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And if you think this guide can help someone else, give it a share.